You got to be feeling great because not only did you have a couple touchdowns, but you guys are on a roll. I mean, we have not seen the Bears win consecutive games in the Matt Eberflus era. We haven't seen two division wins on top of that. We haven't seen two wins over teams with winning records. So it was like a triple whammy the way you thumped the Detroit Lions. That had to feel good.
It did. It felt great. When we went out there, we knew that the last game we left a lot of stuff unfinished when we played them last at their house. So when they came to us, we knew we had to finish them and do it in style at our home.
So you win the toss, you take the ball, you want the ball, and then the Bears come out offensively. Everything was working. That first drive was impressive. And you get down to the 16-yard line, and you call for you to line up in the Wildcat formation, take the snap, fake the reverse. What's going through your mind in that huddle when that's called, and how much had you guys practiced that play to the point where it looked as good as it did?
We put it in actually this past week. So just to go out there and execute it in the same week was something special. But they told me in the meetings that we was going to score on that play. Our offensive line coach, Simo, said, yeah, you're going to score on this play. And when we called it in the game, I was like, dang, I got to live up to the expectation of having to score on this play, and we did. So I'm happy.
What was it like? The fake was phenomenal, first of all, because I think everybody, even the cameras, may have frozen. And then it was just clear sailing. I mean, you weren't even touched.
Yeah, everybody hit their landmarks on blocking. So shout out to everybody that did it, from the O-line to the receivers to the running backs, because we had a running back out there that had to block Aiden Hutchinson. And we had Trent out there blocking. And then you seen Braxton and all the linemen out in front of me. So it's kudos to them.
Roschon Johnson made a great block on Hutchinson. That was the key to the play as well as the fake. And they bought it, and everything fell into place. And DJ, so you get to that was one of your three carries on the day. But you go into the halftime locker room, you weren't even targeted in the passing game. How do you react to that? What do you say about that? Do you say anything at all, or you just wait for things to happen in the second half?
I always let this game just come to me. I never really say too much because I know I'm gonna be a factor in it at some point in the game, and I just wait my turn, and just when the ball comes my way, I just make a play on it.
Well, the touchdown was phenomenal. I mean, they were still. I think they were really mad that they didn't get the intentional grounding call. Because we saw the quarterback as he's going down, he throws a pass into the lineman's leg, and it looked like he was throwing the ball, but they waved off intentional grounding. He's getting hit, Justin Fields. You guys come back to the line of scrimmage, and whatever it is, 4th and 13. And you're just trying to get them to jump, and Hutchinson, of all people, ends up jumping. You knew you had a free play. It looked like you put kind of a swim move on the defensive back, and then you're wide open, and you're gone. I mean, you're touchdown, and you're out of the building. That was phenomenal.
Yeah, so it was a free play. We didn't think they was going to jump. And they jumped. Once he jumped, I was looking down the line. I said, "Oh, we got a chance to go score." So, and once he jumped, I took off. I didn't look back. I didn't care what else was happening, and I had to beat the corner. Once I beat him, Justin put it on the money, and it was a touchdown from there.
You talked about practicing the other touchdown you scored in the Wildcat formation. Do you practice that play in terms of when somebody jumps, you guys know your rules? Because it looked like everybody went go, and then Justin took the snap, and he just looked deep, and you had gotten past your guy, and it was, it looked like a simple pitch and catch. So is that something you guys practice? And why did you keep running down the tunnel? You might have slipped.
No, we don't. It's not like a period in practice where we just practice that, we go out and if the defense jumps, like the scout team defense or our defense jumps, then we practice it. But it's not like a scripted thing that we practice. So to see that we did it a few times in practice and we hit on it, just to see it in the game is even better because it's live action and live touchdown. So I'm happy for it. And then going into the I don't know, the celebration I just ran right past him, so I said, shoot, I might as well run in the tunnel while I'm at it.
Looked good.
Yeah, that was fantastic. So, I guess when we think about that play, you're lined up and you're just hoping to get them to jump, right? There was no plan to go for it. You were going to probably punt off of that. And obviously the cadence gets the defensive end to make the move, and the center's job is to just snap the ball, and you see all this unfold and know you're going deep, right? There was no real danger of you guys trying to go for it in that moment. It was all created by the offside.
Yeah, it was really no play. We was just hoping that they jumped off sides and to either get a free play or something. So, and when they jumped, it was like, okay, now everybody that's on the outside go win, and that was the whole thing.
2 more touchdowns on Sunday. You're having quite a year. You look at your numbers, and they keep piling up. One thing I wanted to ask you about was in terms of your statistics, and I guess this is more of an isolated on a specific thing. You're third in the league when you're against press man coverage, and so you got 244 yards receiving when they're playing you that way. Is that because teams continue to try to challenge you to beat them in man, or is it just when they do, you're able to exploit it? Because that's something that really stood out in terms of looking at how you're getting some of these big chunk plays.
Just understanding leverage and watching film and how they play other receivers man to man. So then I take that into account of what I can do, and then take their weaknesses and work against them.
The failed fourth down, that seemed like a crazy play to me. Did you feel? I mean, for some reason, the guy that you ran into was unblocked, and you tried to power over him, and you tried to get that first down, but that was a strange play to me. Was that another one that was kind of put in this week, or has that been in before?
Yeah, we put it in this week. We didn't think when we called it, we thought they was all going to box in for the QB sneak, and we tried to hit the little counter pitch away and get to the outside and get the first down. But when I seen that he was free and it was other people that were free, I just tried to stick my foot in the ground and get the first down.
This segment with DJ Moore is sponsored by Plumbers 911. Plumbing emergency, call the plumbing professionals, available 24/7 at 1-833-PLUM-911. So what's the deal? Why were you lined up in the backfield so often yesterday? It seemed like that was more than any other Sunday this year. Was that the case?
Yeah. I did it a lot my rookie and second year, but to be able to do it this year and actually get a touchdown out of it's pretty good in year 6.
I want you to get the ball. We want more targets for you, and we want you to get the ball. I don't think we want you to get the ball in short yardage. I don't think we want you. We like you when you're in a little space and then you do the yak thing. I was a little worried about the hit you took. It was like Fields took a big hit on the first, whatever, I guess that was third down. And then on fourth down, you took a big hit. And I'm kind of like, these are guys I don't want taking big hits.
It's good to get hit like that once in a while so you remember that you're really playing football and not just out here having fun. So it come with the job, though.
I really enjoyed your post-game on-the-field interview with Stacey Dales from the NFL Network, and I think in that conversation, DJ, you were able to describe to her and tell the audience what Justin Fields has done this year, and I think the term resilience comes up a lot. But when you look at his last 3 games, he's been consistent as well. I know you've been there through every step of the way this season. How would you say what is the reason why you think he's starting to play at a higher level in the last 3 games?
He's just going out there and being himself. He's going out there making his reads quick, and then if he don't see it, he just going with his mind and body telling him to do, and that's take off and run and get positive yards. And that's what when you have a young quarterback, you want him to be himself and then make the right reads and right throws to keep the offense going.
DJ, I'm curious, when did you feel like you had the Lions rattled a little bit? It seemed like they kind of, after that play, the fourth down play, they march down the field, they get a touchdown, they get a 3-and-out, they get another touchdown, and now they're up 13-10, and they got the ball coming out at halftime, and all of a sudden they can't do anything. Your defense kind of shut them down. What did it feel like to kind of see them hit almost a panic mode?
It was good to see them hit panic mode because we did the same thing in the first game, but we just didn't finish.
Right.
So after that stop on fourth down, and they went down, I think they scored.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody really like cared that they scored, but like it was like a sense of, okay, they scored. Okay, now we gotta go put up like double the touchdowns and whatnot. So to get out of here with this win like we should have last time.
So Justin scores from 11 yards out. It was a really the sprint to the end zone, and it's 14 minutes left to go in the game, and you're up 12. And all of a sudden you remember, well, they led by 12 the last time they played the Lions. At that point, did everyone sort of recognize that okay, you can't blow another 12-point lead in the fourth quarter against the Lions? Was that mentioned, or was that just something that nobody had to say anything for you to know the stakes?
Yeah, nobody had to say anything to know the stakes. We just wanted to go out there, put up as many points as we could, and get out there with that win.
I'm curious, records aside, how do the Bears feel about the division? Do you feel like you're as good as any team in the division right now?
For sure. Why it would be no reason not to. Right now, what are we, 2-3 in the division? I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we still got to play the Packers at the end. We feel pretty good. And then by then we hopefully be 3-3 in the division. And like I said, our plan is to win out. We're just going to take it one game at a time, and hopefully the chips fall where we want to on the side of being 9-8 at the end of the season and making that run.
Montez Sweat has only been here for 5 games, but it was interesting to hear him talk yesterday about how he was impressed with Matt Eberflus's ability to keep this team together. And I know you've not been here much longer than that. This is your first season in Chicago, but how would you describe the way that Matt Eberflus has kept this team together and what your relationship is like with the head coach?
Relationship is good with the head coach. He makes the team stay together by just his speeches and just being upbeat and positive. And, sometimes around when you start going on a losing streak, a lot of people in the building just start being like, they don't know which way to go. They don't know what to do. But we got a clear, concise plan on just being positive and going forward with how we've been playing. And then once we get that breakthrough, we can't just be happy with one win. We had to go stack another win. Now the next challenge is to stack a third one in a row this week.
Yeah, and I think that it was fascinating because you come off that the loss at their place, and then everybody, all you hear is finish, 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 and you come back and you win a game in Minnesota, and he gives everyone a game ball with the word finish written on it. And then we played some audio last week. I think he was at the podium, and Eberflus said the word finish like 4 times in 22 seconds. It's like you got to be hearing that all the time. It seemed like everybody was kind of screaming that too as you were playing Detroit there at the end.
Yeah, that's the big thing. We got to finish in this league. Got to be able to put points up and then close out games. That's the big thing. So that's our whole thing for the rest of the year on offense and defense. So we're going to go do that.
Browns defense is as good as you're going to play in all likelihood. They come after people. It will represent a full circle moment for Justin Fields, his first start kind of thrown to the Wolves back as a rookie before you arrived. But how big is that challenge I know you haven't probably taken a look at the Browns yet on tape, but certainly you know them by reputation. What do you look forward to them facing the Browns defense?
A lot of man coverage. You know, they play a lot of man. They got some good DBs over there. They got Myles Garrett, so that's going to be a handful. But all in all, they just fly to the ball. They like a defense that just never gives up. So I'm looking forward to that.
So, we sit here and we talk about, the best case scenarios and how the season's going to go. You told us a couple weeks ago that you felt like you guys could win out. And at the time it seemed absurd. Now you won a couple of games. I'm sure everybody is feeling the same way. How important is this end stretch, not just for you because it's you're having a great year, but for the quarterback, for the coach, for everybody? Mooney doesn't have a contract beyond this year. There are a lot of people with a lot on the line in the final 4 games.
Yeah, I would say everybody that has a contract or wants a future contract, just go ball out. Be yourself, do what the coaches ask, and then let the chips fall where they fall. You might get one, or you might be putting on a show for another team at the end of the day.
All right, DJ, you have to get your wide receiver perspective on this. Kadarius Toney was offsides. He was definitely offsides. They let the play go. It started, and then they scored the touchdown. It was cool. I'm sure you probably saw it or aware of it a little bit. What's the protocol if you're a wide receiver? Do you want to be warned? Should he have been warned? And should that play have been allowed to, should they have been allowed to celebrate the touchdown and keep the touchdown?
He got to check with the ref. That's all I got to say on it, because he was a little offside, but the ref could tell him to back up like a few inches and he'd have been good, but they didn't. They shouldn't have really even let the play go that long, in my opinion.
Yeah, I said that to David. I mean, it's a play on it's an offside on the offense. Don't you blow a whistle and they don't have to reveal their trick play. But do you stay with the official? I mean, do you say to the official, "Hey, am I onside?" Do you check with them if there's a? I mean, it's different. This guy was like in the slot. He was 4 feet from the line of scrimmage. It was almost like, how did he miss that? He's not on the outside like you often are. What is the protocol?
Yeah, you gotta go. You gotta look outside to the ref and make sure he knows you're on the ball and make sure that you're not offside. So, I mean, what goes into it? It's really not that much that goes into it. You look to the sideline, you point to him. If you say you're good, then you're good. If he tell you to back up some, like they wave their hand to back up some, or then you just back up. But I don't know what happened on that play.
Will you guys be adding that play to your playbook this week?
I have no clue.
Cole Kmet's a baseball player. He could probably throw.
He probably could. Yeah. Good stuff.